Hello, hello, hello. Happy Monday to you. I trust you're all doing well. My name is Yafoda Tobra and I welcome you to Auntie Ya's Book Corner. Today we are speaking about Write Your Story. This is Let's Talk with Mama Ya. Write Your Story. But before we do that, I'm going to share to a few groups and then I'll come back and chat with you. I hope you had a great weekend. Let's see. All right. So again, this is Auntie Ya's Book Corner, and I'm going to tell you about the programs that we have on this platform before we continue. So we have our Saturday Facebook Lives, and those happen twice a month now. So our next program is the coming Saturday, which will be Saturday, June 10th at 11 a.m. Mountain Standard Time. 1 p.m. Eastern Time, and then it'll be, let me do my math, it will be 4 p.m. Ghana time, I believe. No, 5 p.m. Ghana time and 6 p.m. BST. So we've been treating a series called Demystifying Some Cultural and Religious Norms. As well, we have beauty lessons with your favorite auntie, which is for my second book. Here it is, The Beauty of a Woman's Heart. So I share little snippets from the book in a video that is less than a minute long. The first book is Reflections. So I also do reflections. This book is an inspirational, motivational book. I tell different stories, short stories, and there's some Bible passages also for reflection. And so, with the beauty of a woman's heart, women are, what do you call it? We care for people, we nurture people, but we forget ourselves along the way. So, imagine dedicating and devoting your whole life to taking care of your kids, but then they won't stay kids forever. They do grow up. So, what do you do at the end when they've graduated high school, gone off to college? You have an emptiness. What are you doing with yourself? Would it have been feasible perhaps to have, worked on your goals alongside raising them? That's a question that we'll have to answer. And then also, I do Auntie Ya's Nuggets. I share a nugget of or insights from life. If you watch on Thursday, this Thursday, there'll be a video. It's pre-recorded and it's called Be Genuine. So it talks about that whole aspect of being real, being authentic. And of course, we have our Pearls of Wisdom. I take a passage from the Bible and I share from it, my insights from it. And it's a video of about 5 to 15 minutes long. A Word with You is also from the Bible, but it's less than a minute. I share a nugget for the day, and you take it with you. And I do Auntie Ya's Book Club book read. It's usually on Thursdays that I do it. I won't be doing it this Thursday. There'll be the Auntie Ya's Nugget video. So I share from my books. And so these here they are: Reflections for a Thirsty Soul, The Beauty of a Woman's Heart, and Refreshing for My Weary Soul, which is a devotional. And the fourth book is Own It, which is a guide to taking responsibility and accountability for your own life journey. It is an Amazon International best-selling book, and I am an Amazon International best-selling author. And then we have Auntie Ya's Own It Academy. So we provide life coaching. Do you need clarity in life? Maybe you are stuck. Are you willing to do the work to move forward? We also do book coaching and publishing. What is your story? You have a story, but are you willing to write it? Somebody needs to hear it to be empowered, to be motivated to go on their journey. So, how about you get to writing that book? And then, of course, we have women empowerment. I spoke about the beauty of a woman's heart. Women are stuck, they may be limited financially, or limiting themselves personally from pursuing their goals. So we can help you reset and focus. As well, I have two other pages, The Beauty of a Woman's Heart and All for Its Glory, that you can patronize. And of course, let's talk with Mama Ya. So today I'm talking about writing your story. Look back over your life, from your teenage, well, when you were a little child, 0 to 6, right? 6 to your teenage years, 18 to college years, young adult, being married, and all that. So your story starts when you are born and it ends when you die. I always talk about it. I say, you have a day of your birth, and then there's a dash. And when you leave this earth, then the final chapter, the final date will be put there. So we have things that happen to us in our childhood, our teenage years, 20s, that is limiting us. The question I have for you is, what story have you been writing? What is your story? You need to think about what I'm saying. What is your story? You hear people say things like, oh, when I grew up, this happened to me. When I was growing up, this happened to me. My father died or my mother died. There was a stepmother and she was wicked. She was mean to us. Or I was in a family, but I didn't really feel the love. Yes, I was provided for materially, but emotionally, nobody was there to support me. Or we were poor, so I had to do certain things to help my family. So those are some of the stories. So I'm asking, is it a good or a bad one? Right now, as I speak, do you like what you're seeing in your life? How is it going for you? So is your story one of inspiration or one of defeat? Look, there's people who've picked themselves up by their bootstraps and said, no matter what happened to me in my childhood, I am going to make it. And they push and they push and they push. Yes. And so they choose not to live in defeat. On the other hand, we have those who are, oh, woe is me, poor me, pity, pity, pity. They're having pity parties every day. This happened to me. I can't do this. I can't do that. Look, some of these things that I'm talking about are cultural constructs in the sense that we were raised a certain way. Oh, respect the elders, be timid. Oh, don't put yourself out there. You can't be too pushy. When you are pushy, then you are reined in. Let's muzzle them. Let's keep them quiet. I heard a story yesterday on one of the social media platforms of somebody who was saying that they send money to a person and the person is sitting there waiting for the sender of the money to direct them. So I wrote a comment that lack of initiative. So when you have people sitting around wanting to be fed, right, instead of being taught how to fish, it is a problem. And then there's a sense of entitlement. I can't do things for myself. Somebody always has to do it for me. Oh, I have this brother here. They have to help me because they are doing well. Sometimes people don't need to do anything for you. You need to do it for yourself, but the expectation is so much. So these are some of the stories that we're writing. And so give me a second. Yeah. So if you're going to write a story of self-pity, you've got to know that it's really going to be that nobody is going to be attending those pity parties because after a while people do get tired. People get tired and they refuse to participate in pity parties. They just won't do it. It's just not going to happen. So you see, you need to um, you need to push yourself. You need to push yourself. Is your story one of inspiration? When you hear of Albert Einstein, all you know is, oh yeah, he was a great man, he was a genius. But when he was going to school, they told him he was dumb. He was dumb. I think his mom had to take him out of school to teach him herself. Did he give up? Thomas Alva Edison, maybe he tried 99 times before he finally created the light bulb. But with us, we have one little difficulty and we give up and we sit there. And it becomes a problem because you're wasting time, you're wasting your life. So the question that I have for you is, what has been said over you that is limiting you, stopping you from writing your story? And by story, I mean your life story. How are you living it? Where do you want to go? What do you want to become? So, and people hear all kinds of things growing up. Or you are told, oh, you won't amount to anything. As for you, you are foolish. As for you, oh, you are worthless. You are not pretty. You are ugly. They call you all kinds of names. They do all kinds of things. And you know our environments are so harsh. It's not to say that the diaspora or whatever, every community has its problems. But in our community, the African, the Ghanaian community, there's so much harshness. The words that we speak sometimes are not very positive. We put each other down. We mock people. We shame them. So when you are being shamed constantly, you'd have no faith in yourself, no self-belief, no nothing. What do you have to work with? And if you don't make that effort to pull yourself out of it, you'll be writing a story that nobody wants to read. And yes, and there's people who've led awful lives, done awful things. And when you mention them, people go, oh, it's cringe-worthy. Is that your story? Because sometimes bad things happen to us and we are not able to get out of it. We're not able to recover. So we go on that, that path, and it leads us to distraction. Meanwhile, somebody else will take what they are dealt and push in life. So don't let what was said to you stop you in your tracks. I'll give you my story. For myself, a lot of times, my youngest sister just had her 50th birthday, and I sent a video back home. And I was talking about how she's so humble because we learned that from our father. And so, a lot of times when people see you, they go, oh, they are nobody. They want to write you off. They think you don't have anything to offer because they go by outward appearances. Oh, that person is too quiet. Oh, they're too calm. I love to prove people wrong. I do. Because what gives you that right to write somebody off or put them in a corner and say they are not worthy to be on in a particular space or in the life space? We're all living our lives after all, and not everybody's can be out there shouting, screaming, and being bossy. No. So for me, I had to take a hold of myself. It's like every situation you go into, you intimidate people. You intimidate people. And I'm not sitting here saying, ooh, I'm the whatever, but I'm speaking the real truth. Sometimes there's things in you that you don't even know. People see it a mile off. And it takes you working on yourself to come to that realization because they feel threatened by you. I remember years and years ago, I was working at a daycare. A friend of mine, I got that job because of the friend. At the 3-month probation, they didn't let me stay on. They had any number of reasons. Then my friend says to me, oh, the director is threatened by you because you have a degree. And I'm like, what? When you look at that person, they were the most confident person, so I'm thinking, oh, is that what she picked from me? I can't help being who I am. I don't know, like, what is the degree? Anyway, I'm not saying it's not important, but people will pick any number of excuses to use to limit you. I moved on from that experience anyway. So there's a lot. You have to sit down carefully, take stock of your life, and ask yourself, what am I about? Where have I come from? Was it good? Was it bad? If it's bad, how can I fix it? How can I improve it? It is good. How can I make it better? We always have to constantly be learning from our life experiences. There's lessons that if you don't learn, they'll be repeated until you learn them. So if you constantly go for that rough guy who's maltreating you, abusing you because the quiet guy came along and you said, oh, he's too dull, I can't handle him. So you go into these relationships and your emotions are always up and down, all over the place. till you are broken, nothing left. What do? You need to reflect and snap out of it and say, hey, this is not for me. I need to find out who I am and get better. Or it can be you can be in a circle of friends who don't value you. They think you are timid, and you are, because you don't speak up, you don't stand for anything. So they use you for their own purposes. You are crying, you are bleeding inside, but you're not willing to speak up. What about if you really come to an awakening one day and say, hang on a minute, I'm not going to do this anymore. The next time somebody calls you, you go, I'm busy, I have something planned, I have to take care of this business today. Maybe another time. They won't be happy with you. You start saying no slowly and you start to feel better. I've heard many a woman or man saying that when they started to make their circle smaller because they'd made certain decisions, their circle became smaller. They miss their friends, but they are happy. At the end of the day, it's all about you. In our community, let's not focus on all the religiosity that we've been taught, or looking after other people and forgetting yourselves. Yes, people will come at you, oh, that you are selfish, or you are supposed to help this person. Why aren't you doing it anymore? Stand your ground. Stand your ground. It is your story after all. This is your life story. You have the one chance at it. Are you going to win or are you going to lose? Don't cave into the opinions of people. They are just that, opinions. What you do, what you think about yourself, it's more important. So I said, take stock of your life up till now. Are you happy with what has happened? What do you want to change? Make those changes that are needed. You start pushing yourself to be better. It's not something you do in a rush. I'm not here to deceive you. I just want you to know that you have got to, what do you call it, be the best that you can be. If you can't do it, then it means that you are not going to get far. So just keep pushing yourself. Just keep pushing yourself. Keep pushing yourself. Keep pushing yourself. It's all that you can do. It's all that you can do. If you don't push yourself, you'll find out that you'll be stuck and you can't get out of the rut that you are in. It's one step at a time. Write your story. It is your story and it is powerful. Don't let anybody deceive you and make you think that you are not worth it. You are less than. A lot of times we let people minimize us. They treat us anyhow they like. And we think that it is okay. It is not okay. Stand up for yourself. Be wise. Don't let any person or situation cut your dreams short. There's people who've gotten themselves into all kinds of situations that has led them down the wrong path. Sometimes even their life is cut short and they are not around to see the fulfillment of their dreams because they made that one bad decision. Write your story. It is a beautiful story. Believe in yourself. Find people who can mentor you. Sometimes we are so afraid to invest in ourselves. We are so afraid to pay for things. Even if you can't pay for something, be resourceful. Look for avenues, programs that you can listen to. There's many free programs around, or even if you Google YouTube, there's things you can find to motivate you, to empower you. And if you need help, ask for help. In our communities, we're not very good at asking for help because of the shame factor that I mentioned earlier on. People will make you feel bad for being honest about your feelings. But when you determine that, you look at yourself and you figure out your weaknesses, that is a sign of strength. I can do this, but I can't do that. And sometimes if you need to laugh at yourself, I'm not very good at this. Like me, I always tell the story of when it comes to being tech savvy, I always have to ask my young adults, hey, can you help me? Yeah, they'll mock you, they'll tease you, boomers, this and that, millennials to the rescue of the boomers, but I'll always ask for help. None of this pride thing that I'm the adult, I can't show my weakness, I can't show my limitation. Yes, you can. You're a human being. You need to be able to be honest with yourself. So if you've just come on, I'm here and I've been talking about writing your story. What story are you writing? You have a life, you are born. That is the beginning of your story. And it's in stages. You can be in the childhood stage, you can be in the teenage stage, young adult, college years, you get married, some get divorced, you have your children, they grow up and they leave. You have grandkids, so at each cycle of life, what are you doing? What are you achieving? How are you impacting others? We are not called just to come and live for ourselves. There's somebody who's waiting to hear your story so they can become a better person. So you need to, work on your story. You need to empower yourself. You need to push so that people will come alongside and go, oh, there's something that I can learn from this person. I'm learning a thing or two from this person. Wow. Okay, so know that your story is your own. Don't allow anybody to take your life over and write your story for you. Sometimes we have parents who think their children should be living this kind of a life. They want to direct your path. A lot of people have gone into occupations and things that they were not interested in. They did it to please a mother or a father. At the end of the day, they chuck it and then they go do what pleases their soul. That is what we're on earth for. You have to do what makes you happy. Find yourself, push, grow, and empower people. So, with that, we've come to the end of the program. I shared with you some of the programs that we do on this Facebook based on the books that I've read. So there's Reflections for a Thirsty Soul, The Beauty of a Woman's Heart, Refreshing for My Weary Soul, which is a devotional. And then there is Own It, which is a guide to taking accountability and responsibility for your own life journey. I highly recommend this book, especially for people in my community, because we think that till I moved out of my country and came to live in the diaspora and had to fend for myself, I was in that mindset because everything was done for you. Your parents did everything, they made decisions for you, and you have this entitlement mindset, and then you move out and you have to take care of yourself. You have to be a quick thinker on your feet, make decisions, and all kinds of things. So you just need to make sure that you are doing things that will better your life. And my fifth book, which will be coming out this year, is My Unapologetic Self. It's a guide to being real and living life on my own terms. Some of the stuff that I've said, we grow up with scripts. Our parents have certain goals for us, and you are taught a certain way, the grooming in the community, in the society, the values that you are taught. Some may be good, some not so good. When you grow up, it's up to you to make a decision and say, hey, this is not working for me. This is how I choose to live. So this year you'll be empowered, because a lot of us are not living our real lives. We are living fake lives because we think it's expected of us. We become chameleons. We just adapt to every situation that we find ourselves in. If you put yourself in 5 different situations, you need to be person A in all those 5 situations. Not A here, then you go here and you are B, over there you are D, over there you are G. No, be your real self. And when you're writing your story and writing it according to your own values, your own goals, whatever it is that you are working for in life, that is when you become authentic and people will learn from you. So with that, I'll end it until next time. Join us on Thursday. I'll have a pre-recorded video, YAA'S Nuggets. It's about being genuine. The fake life thing is in there, or putting people on a pedestal, worshiping people. You have to just understand that you are all the same, just different. Nobody is bigger than you, and you are not bigger than anybody. Also on Saturday, we'll have our Saturday Facebook Live, and we'll be continuing with demystifying some cultural and religious norms. So please do join us. Thank you for joining me today. Have a great rest of the day. Bye for now.